Hey, Kentucky, this is Mary Jo Perino. Tonight, Easter Sunday brings more friction between the governor and some churchgoers. Immanuel Quickley will not be back in Kentucky Blue, and I'll talk with State Ag Commissioner Ryan Quarles. All that and more is next on Hey Kentucky. Welcome to Hey Kentucky, along with LEX 18 Sports Director Keith Farmer. And unfortunately, Keith, we're starting out today's show with just some awful news that Carl Towns' mother, Jackie, did in fact pass away due to complications from the coronavirus. Both Towns' parents tested positive, but Jackie had not left the hospital for the last month or so since she was diagnosed.
Yeah, she'd been battling it for a month, and the most devastating thing, which we've seen with all these cases, is that Carl Anthony wasn't able to be in the room with her, wasn't able to go visit with her, and that has to be heart-wrenching for him and now for his father as well.
Just so sad, but we had to share that news with everyone. So we'll get to hopefully some better stuff now. Easter Sunday, and I hope you had a great one, Keith. It has come and gone in Kentucky, but not without more controversy regarding social distancing. The Bullitt County Church, where the pastor has been opening his doors to in-person services, once again held worship on site, despite a warning from Governor Beshear that state police would take down the license plates of those who attended in an effort to enforce a 14-day quarantine order for anyone in attendance. Some of those folks vowed not to obey that order. The high-profile confrontation even brought in worshipers from as far away as New Jersey.
These agendas that it's one thing to keep us safe. It's another when it's starting to become a takeover, and I'm starting to feel like I'm in a communist country.
One right that I have is the freedom of assembly, and that's what we did this morning. We got to go to the store, right? Because it's essential, and everybody understands that, and nobody's questioning, are you putting your neighbor in danger in a Walmart? This is the same when it comes to this building.
Yes.
Or any building of faith.
The pastor arrived at Maryville Baptist Church yesterday morning to find nails scattered in the driveway entrance. In Louisville, Mayor Greg Fisher tried to take the order a step further by barring churchgoers from holding drive-in services in church parking lots. That drew criticism from many, including Senator Mitch McConnell and a federal judge who overruled that order. Keith, you know, there's not an order, there is not a rule without there being a punishment assigned, and they kind of knew that was what was going to happen.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we all, you know how I've felt about it. We've talked about how you should just be worshiping from home. That's what we did yesterday on Easter Sunday. But at the same time, something just bothers me about them walking around picking up these license plate cars. You know, I do agree. They can't have mass gatherings like this, but we're walking through some do-it-yourself stores. We're walking through some grocery stores, and we're walking around a lot of people in there. And so I don't know, it just felt a little odd to me, at least.
It does look strange, but these are strange times we're in. And I just wonder, like, why people came from New Jersey, and that place has been a hot spot. So now that's why I'm hoping they at least follow through on the quarantine, even though many of them say they will not. Mitch McConnell wasn't the only Kentucky politician to step in the conversation about the governor's Easter Sunday order. Senator Rand Paul and Congressman Thomas Massie openly criticized Andy Beshear. A tweet from Paul read, "Taking license plates at church, quarantining someone for being Christian on Easter Sunday, someone needs to take a step back here." Massie also took to Twitter to lodge his complaint. Paul's criticism did not sit well with many social media commenters, many of whom pointed out he himself just recovered from COVID-19 and that he swam in the Senate swimming pool hours before his test came back positive. And Keith, I hate the thought of people thinking you're quarantined because you're Christian. No.
Yeah, right, exactly. And just going back to that, I'm not saying that the governor was wrong for doing this. It just felt odd, and that's why I felt weird to see that happen. But you're right. I mean, you know, we cannot have you going out and then going back into the community, and then you going into a grocery store and being the one to endanger somebody else, especially a person that might be older and might be just trying to get their essential items.
Yes, I know. And it's really helped, I think, bring about some questions of what is faith really? Okay, at least I've thought about it at my house. All right, now look at some other coronavirus headlines across the Bluegrass. The number of positive cases in nursing homes continues to rise, including 4 senior homes where there are more than 30 cases. At least 2 facilities are opening special units for COVID-19 patients. In Boone County, the local jail, which is the state's largest immigration detention facility, will no longer accept new ICE detainees, transfers, or arrests after a prisoner tested positive several days after he was transferred to Illinois. And a Kentucky native is one of the latest celebrities to be the face of the illness. Singer-songwriter Sturgill Simpson has tested positive for COVID-19, saying he started experiencing symptoms last month after touring in Western Europe. Simpson says he had a difficult time getting tested, and it took him a month to find out if he had the virus. Keith, hopefully those kind of things are beginning to slow down as more testing is available.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm hoping we're seeing these things on the decline and we're going past that curve and on the downhill slope, especially when it comes to the nursing homes. That has to be a huge problem right now, and with those folks.
Yeah, I just worry so much. And again, just like we talked about with Carl Anthony Towns' mom, people are not able to get in to see their loved ones who may be dealing with this. And that's truly heartbreaking. The first COVID-19 drive-through testing site, meanwhile, in the state is underway at the Franklin County Fairgrounds. Kroger is teaming up with the Commonwealth to test up to 20,000 people statewide over the next 5 weeks. Currently, only healthcare workers, first responders, those with chronic health conditions, and people over 65 can be tested at the site. It will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. through Thursday. And a Lexington grocer is taking precautions a step further. Beginning tomorrow, the fresh market will require customers to wear masks or face coverings when entering the store. That same rule applies to all of the workers as well. And Keith, I did have to make a trip to the grocery store this weekend, and the majority of folks were in masks.
Oh yeah, and that's good to see. But now, some things that worry me though is sometimes not seeing those workers that are in masks. I'm seeing them wearing gloves, but they're still huddled around each other or they're doing things. So certainly thank you to those who are making sure we can get our essential items, but I'd really like to see them take care of themselves as well. And it's great what Kroger has done to step up here, because they're doing this for free. They're not charging the state or anything for doing this testing.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's awesome. All right. With many people hurting during the shutdowns, LEX 18 and the Scripps Howard Foundation are teaming up with God's Pantry Food Bank for Hope Over Hunger. We at the station are encouraging businesses to consider matching our $10,000 donation. If you need help or would like to support the cause, just go to lex18.com/hope. And if you own or manage a business or restaurant that's open and adapting to a new way of serving customers, LEX 18 would like to share your story by heading to lex18.com/open. There you can submit your business or find links to businesses and restaurants that are open. Turning to basketball, Immanuel Quickley's career as a Kentucky Wildcat is over. Today, he announced that he is entering the 2020 NBA draft and will forego his remaining eligibility. Quickley won SEC Player of the Year honors after an incredible sophomore season, which he averaged over 16 points, 4 rebounds, and nearly 2 assists a game, while hitting 41% from the field and nearly 43% from downtown. And of course, his free throw numbers staggering, 92%. Quickley joins Ashton Hagans and Tyrese Maxey in the draft, which is currently scheduled for June 25th, but will likely be delayed. Nick Richards and EJ Montgomery have yet to announce their intentions. Meanwhile, former UK Wildcat forward Khalil Whitney has also declared for the draft and will hire an agent. Not surprised about Immanuel Quickley. This is probably the best time for him to go. But now our whole backcourt is gone.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot, right? I mean, if you're the SEC Player of the Year, I think you've got to go on and take your chances, even in this strange time with COVID-19. And you're right, the backcourt is gone. So now you've got the new player in Mentz coming in, the point guard, and coming in from Creighton, and then a bunch of freshmen. And we'll see how they're able to handle that with Devin Askew and Terrence Clark, some of those guys.
I fully expect Nick Richards to throw his name in there, but what's your gut on EJ?
I mean, I'm really having a hard time picking out what he's going to do. I think he has to come back, but it won't surprise me if he goes.
Yep, I feel the same way. All right, the UK basketball family joined in on the Zoom craze. Kentucky's deputy athletic director helped orchestrate a huge group chat on Friday, calling on 6 ambassadors to help get more Wildcats involved. Cameron Mills, Dan Issel, Kyle Macy, Sam Malone, Ravi Moss, and Jack Givens each helped by getting the ball rolling by inviting former teammates. The 22-minute conference call included over 24 teammates from UK teams spanning several decades. Folks like Louis Dampier, Chuck Hayes, Reggie Warford, Tony Delk, Scott Padgett, Antoine Walker, Marcus Lee, Terrence Jones, just to name a few. Meanwhile, of the 6 Kentucky Hoopers who entered the inaugural NBA 2K tournament, only 2 remain, Immanuel Quickley and Zan Payne. Keith, I would have loved to have been on that call.
Well, you can listen to a lot of it on YouTube, but it was so cool to hear all those names getting together. Maybe they should do this more often and just get together and share some stories. It's so neat to see them from the different eras getting together and talking about being a fraternity of UK basketball.
Yeah, and oftentimes, like, the younger players don't know the stories from some of the older guys, so they were all enjoying it as well. It was pretty cool to see.
I bet some of those guys like Macy and Louis
yeah.
Dampier think, hey, if I had a three-point line.
Yeah, you know they do. All right, up next on Hey Kentucky, I'll talk with State Ag Commissioner Ryan Quarles. He'll talk about how farmers are doing and how they are contributing during the COVID-19 era. Stay with us.